So we are underway in the second of the Dublin Senior Hurling quarter-finals. Ballyboden St Endas in the stripes playing St Vincents with the hoop. And Vincents attacking from left to right as we see it in this first half. An early strike coming from Conor Burke, but it goes to the left and wide. A rematch of last year's classic semi-final that Ballyboden won in the end by 4 points, by 216 to 18 points. Bowden sending it in long. Here's Paul Ryan, has a little bit of support behind with a little flick. Stephen O'Connor trying to bear down on goal, and he has the board up there too, and it's in the back of the net from Paul Ryan, and Ballyboden St Endas take the lead after 50 seconds. Paul Ryan with an absolute belter. He wasn't named in the original starting 15, but he has scored a superb strike from close range. And Ballyboden hit the front early on, and that was a fine goal. Ballyboden St Endas, the defending champions, who won their Group 4, beat Lucan Sarsfield's, Whitehall, Colmkill and Setanta on the way to this quarter-final. St Vincent's had the first opportunity, couldn't put it away. Couldn't create a second one this time around as it struck long. It's a nice long ball too by Luke Corcoran, the Ballyboden full-back. And a solid position for Niall Ryan. And Ryan in scoring range from 30 out puts it over. 1-1 to no score for Ballyboden very early on, and they've got off to an absolute flyer here. The Ryans are making it happen. Bit of pressure being put on here by Conal Keeney. But well dug out. Rory Traynor, the captain for St Vincent. Simon Lambert wearing the armband for Ballyboden today as it's taken out by Rian McBride. Chance to get it long up towards the Ballyboden 45. It was a nice one up too. Here goes Alan Moore, bearing down on goal. Moore with a chance to go all the way, and it was really well cut out. Corcoran getting stuck in again. It comes out towards Conor Burke. Burke has got support here from Brian Bulger, and Bulger hits that one wide as well. 2 wides already for St Vincent's, 2 scores for Ballyboden. Give you their lineups when play calms down. It hasn't yet, now it has with the free. Ballyboden due to line out with Gary Maguire in goal. Full back line of David O'Connor, Luke Corcoran and Sean McDonald. A half back line of James Madden, Simon Lambert and David Curtin. Centre of the park, Shane Durkin and Stephen O'Connor. Up front, Niall Ryan, Paul Doherty and Conor Dooley in the half forward line. And in the full forward line, Aidan Mellett, Kevin Desmond and Luke McDwyer. But there have been a few changes since then. Conal Keeney starts. Paul Ryan definitely starts as he's found the net, and Niall McMorrow as well. Vincent's line up to follow as it's dug out effectively. Pocock wins the free. St Vincent's, Dara DePuer in goal. Full back line of Kieran Harney, Marco Farland, Rory Pocock. Half back line, Tom Connolly, Rory Traynor and Ronan Fallon. In midfield, Mark Sweeney and Rian McBride. The half forward line, Cian McBride, Conor Burke and Chris McCarry. And up front, John Walsh, John Heatherton and Brian Bulger. But 17, Alan Moore does start for them also, in at least one late change for them. More to follow. So it's a free on his own 65 from John Heatherton. Vincent's yet to score in this. 4 minutes played. Got a lot of power behind that, Heatherton. Does he have the accuracy as well? Oh yes, he does. That's a great way to open the account. John Heatherton scores for St Vincent's, and it's a beauty. From around 80 yards out, and it was a belter. Here's Ronan Fallon for Vincents, and he's put his side in a little bit of trouble. Luke McDwyer is chasing after this, and that's the first wide of the game against Ballyboden. That early goal, that brilliant goal by Paul Ryan, well found. Excellent claim by Heatherton, who scored that wonderful long free a few moments ago, and it's a quick release. Mark Sweeney with a chance to strike it long and finds the target. And that's an excellent score from a long way out, and that'll be 2 points for St. Vincent's. So 1-1 for Ballyboden, St. Endas. Both coming from long range. Now the scoreboard the main scoreboard here at Parnell Park only has a point down for Vincents, but the white flag is raised twice. Ballyboden sideline ball. Simon Lambert, the skipper, getting it long. Beyond Paul Ryan, the goal scorer. Well, it's a good one inside the 45. Conor Dooley looking to come and claim, but he's lost out, and it's a good, strong grab by Ray McBride to launch it long beyond the 45 and heading towards the 20. But very easily and very capably cut out by James Madden. Did well. Quick, long hand pass up towards Paul Ryan, but he's second best. This is a good one aimed for Alan Moore again, who was on the Vincent's right and now popping up in the left and taking on David O'Connor. But it had gone out. Decided to try the shot anyway, and he'd actually, from that very tight angle, struck it over, but the ball was long dead. Scoreboard's updated. Vincent's have the second point on the board. Tom Connolly breaking forward for Vincent's here and up towards the 65. Short for Heatherton, who's already scored a wonderful long-range free from his own 65, and it was a bouncer that went in beyond Chris McCarry, who's currently playing the full forward position, but it ran all the way to keeper Gary Maguire, and it's long away by Shane Durkin. Good claim, long up towards the Vincent's 45. Trying to dig away at it. Well claimed by Rory Pocock, who was absolutely surrounded. 4 or 5 around him. Here's Ryan McBride. Chance to bring it on. Up towards 55 from goal. It's high. It's looking good. And it is. Ryan McBride gets his first score this quarter-final. And Vincents are back in it. Haven't won this title since 1993. It was their 13th, last final 2007. And they've got the last 3 scores. Long one in towards the hands of Chris McCarry, but he found himself surrounded. It'll be picked up here by James Madden. Quick turn, get it long up towards the 65 again. Niall McMorrow was up there, and he's won the sideline for Ballyboden. Well, Vincent's losing, finishing second in Group 3. Crave Kieran with a 100% record, 22 points to 11. They beat Vincent's during the group stage, but he's beating Oliver Plunkett by 120 to 107, which was impressive. Trounced Naomh Finbarra 10 goals and 28 points to 111. 58 to 14. Been in great form then. As for Ballyboden, beat Setanta 629 to 5 points. Very impressive a couple of weeks ago, but a 1-point victory over Lucan Sarsfields, 1-point victory over Whitehall Columkill. It's been tight at times for them. Sideline ball, captain Simon Lambert. That's a great sideline cut coming all the way in, but well claimed by Dara Dupar in the St. Vincent's goal. Get it long towards John Heatherton. He's got a good distance on this, up towards the near side. Bit of running for Chris McCarry required, and bit of support needed too, maybe. Tried to cut down the angle. He's played it back towards the 45. Long distance back, and they've lost possession. Ballyboden with a chance to turn this over very quickly. It's aimed long for Aidan Mellett, who won't get there. Very well defended. David O'Connor knocks it back. Kieran Harney for Dara Dupar. And to the 45, the flick gorgeous by Tom Connolly. And he's on a roll here, and he has his eyes on goal too. It's a good strike, but it goes to the right and wide, and that's 4 wides already for St. Vincent's and 1 for Ballyboden. who lead by 1-1 to 3 points with 10 minutes played at Parnell Park. The second of the quarterfinals. Crave Careeron beating Lucan Sarsfields earlier by 4 points. It's a long strike by Simon Lambert, and that is absolutely gorgeous. It's their first score for 9 minutes. Simon Lambert getting his name in the score sheet with an absolutely terrific strike. Came loose on the near side and he had a look, and it was a lovely score. And look who's popped up again. Just around his own 20 to strike it long upfield again. Lambert has got it into the hands of Luke McDwyer, who could go all the way. That's a terrific block by Mark O'Keefe. Another of the new starters for St. Vincents at full back, and it's a free out for Vincents as well. Great piece of defensive play just when it looked as if Luke McDwyer might be in on the way for a second Ballyboden goal. It was a potent effort, but what a stop. Belting semi-final last year, Ballyboden needing 2 attempts to beat Kilmacud Crokes in the decider. Kilmacud playing tomorrow against Coola. 4:45, the throw-in time, preceded by Nafina against St. Bridget's in another quarter-final double bill here at Parnell Park tomorrow. Ballyboden getting back into it after a flying start. Vincents came back at them well. Simon Lambert's been involved in so much in the opening 10 minutes, and he's won the free here as well. It gives opportunities for Paul Ryan. Be brought back to just inside the 65 where the foul was committed. That goal after 50 seconds for Ryan. It's a calm day, no real breeze to talk about. Ryan's got the power and the shots. It's a good high one over the bar from Paul Ryan. 1-1 to his account today. And Ballyboden lead by 1-3 to 3 points with a dozen minutes played. Good score by Ryan. And a very well won free by Simon Lambert in the first place, who has been a powerhouse so far. Chance for Vincents to do the same now. Just around the Ballyboden 65 is pretty much the same range, just a few yards longer than what Ryan has just scored from. Heatherton will be the taker. He's already scored a belting long free from his own 65. Opponent's line should be a doddle, especially as it's straight in front of goal. No problem for him. That's his second of the game. Vincents bring it back to a 2-point game once more with 13 minutes gone. It's been well contested so far. That's another great claim in the heart of the St. Vincent's defence. It was picked out well by Mark O'Keefe and has the free as well. Even though Vincents did lose by double scores to Crave Careeron by virtue of that huge win over Nathan Barra, they ended up being the highest scorers in their group, in Group 3, despite finishing runners-up behind Crave Careeron. First team into the semi-finals. Tight one so far between these two. Really well contested. Ball still hasn't come out. Conor Burke tried to pick it away for Vincents, and he did so. Got a little dig as he was coming through as well, so he's got the free right in front of goal, and there's surely only one man with the form he's been in so far today who's going to take this. Baking earlier, it's definitely cooled down a bit since then, but still the Watermen are out. So John Heatherton, 2 points and frees so far in this contest, 2 of the 4 that Vincents have scored. Ballyboden leading by 1-3 to 4 points. And this is almost in the same blade of grass that he scored from a few moments ago. They had 4 early wides, but they've got a lot more accuracy since then. Heatherton lining it up, and again, right dead in front of goal. No mistake. 3 out of 3 for John Heatherton, and it is a 1-point game. Ballyboden lead. Both teams have got the accuracy up now. It's an excellent break by David O'Connor down the near side, and a quick hand pass to Lambert. Look where he's popped up again, and if he can get another score here, he came very close to it, just narrowly to the right and wide, but he's having some mac. Just look where he popped up on the near side, on the left, on the Vincents 45. That is only Ballyboden's second wide of the contest, and the first was a ricochet. That's the first shot that they've missed with in the entire match. Here's Ronan Fallon for Vincents on his own 45, chance to strike it long, and he did, and even then he didn't seem to get 100% behind it. He was trying to get it in beyond the 20 and maybe try and release. Chris McCarry again. Aidan Mellett causing trouble around the Vincents 20, but how well dug out it was by Rory Traynor, the Vincents captain. Now a chance for it to be struck long, and it definitely was by Tom Connolly from the half-back line, and it's a good claim by Cian McBride. Chance to do a bit of damage on the 20, and he did, but in the wrong way. It's a free out for Ballyboden to maintain the 1-point advantage past the halfway point of the first half. Well, there was only 4 points between them last year. Ballyboden found the net twice in that semi-final of many scores. Already raised the green flag here very early on, David Curtin, and it will be a free. Niall McMorrow was the player upended on the Vincents 45. Well, it was an absolutely blinding. Stephen O'Connor trying to bear down on goal, and he has the board up there too, and it's in the back of the net from Paul Ryan, and Ballyboden St Endas take the lead after 50. To his name. The goal from play you've just seen, and the 2 points coming from frees doubles their lead again. 1-4 to 5 points in favour of Ballyboden St Endas. It's another good one, struck long by Niall McMorrow, ran through towards the Vincents goalkeeper Dara DePuer, and there was absolutely nobody coming out for St Vincents that time. They'd very boxed in full forward line on the 13, all within a few yards of each other in the middle, and it was hit into no man's land really by Rory Traynor, which was the last thing he was expecting. Frustrating moment for the Vincents captain. The Ballyboden skipper Simon Lambert's having an absolute belting game so far, but here's Traynor again claiming it well. Knock for Ronan Fallon. Now they have a chance to strike along. Brian Bulger again for St Vincents. Same story, trying to find Chris McCarry, but this time he was closer to the ball. It just bounced past him. And away quickly by Luke Corcoran. Tried to launch it up towards Aidan Mellett, but he's been denied. Just flew past him. Still tried to dig it out. Marco Farrell now with a chance to clear. Long for St Vincents, and he has, to try and get it up in towards the full forward line, but they've mopped up a lot. The Ballyboden St Endas back three so far. Lambert, chance to strike this one long. There's only one thought in his mind. What a score that is from just about his own 45. His second point of the game, and that was just gorgeous. Well, he's doing every role imaginable at the moment. The lead is a goal, 1-5 to 5 points, approaching the 20-minute mark at Parnell Park, and a good crowd as well here for the double bill today, with Crave Kieran winning earlier, and a similar double bill starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow if you're in the area. You will be welcome. It's a cracking sideline cut too. It's well contested in the middle. Picked out by Niall McMorrow again. He's just missed out. That was an excellent claim by Mark Sweeney for St. Vincent's, and there was a loose stick in there as well. Brian Bolger was ready to come away with it. Our referee, by the way, is Sean Stack. He's getting the notebook out for the first time today for a booking. Might be wanting a word with Conal Keeney here. He's the closest to him. Yellow card. First of the game, 20 minutes gone. Massive bodies in there. Well, if Paul Ryan has had a belting time for Ballyboden from dead balls, similar story for John Heatherton. He's got 3 all from around this range so far. Here's a 4th. Effectively another 65 for him. And that's 4 out of 4. Marvellous accuracy from John Heatherton. And we're down to a 2-point game again. He is having some game from long frees, there's no doubt about that. That could break clear, but Traynor with a chance to bring it away. Down to a 2-point game again, but Ballyboden of the ball inside the Vincents large square. They needed to win that one, it was an important one. It had been greatly won by Mark Sweeney and then found himself tremendously blocked by David Curtin, and it is a free in for Ballyboden here. They'll keep a couple of men close into goal, but at this stage of the game, Paul Ryan probably will be aiming high rather than low. Keeper Dara DePuer is poised anyway, just on the off chance. But Ryan goes for the point, which he was always going to do. 1-3 for him. And the lead of a goal again as we approach half-time. Just the goal coming from play, the rest from frees for Ryan. Simon Lambert with 2 great points from play. Niall Ryan with a point from play as well, and that goal from play for Paul Ryan. Ballyboden scoring so far, so another free in the middle of the park. John Heatherton's got another hefty free coming here for Vincents, but this isn't his longest of the day. Out towards the main stand. 4 points so far, all from long range from John Heatherton. He's been in terrific form, and that will just continue it. He's having a monster of a day. They've never had a lead of more than 4 points, Ballyboden, and that was the opening goal and point of the game from Paul Ryan and Niall Ryan, respectively. Heatherton has been majestic from free so far, and a point each from play by Ryan McBride and Mark Sweeney. But there is the perfect response from Ballyboden. Another cracking point, this one from play, and the first for James Madden in the game. 1-7 to 7 points. It's been a good flow of scoring in this one, good flow of play as well. Good open contest. There's a crowd of a good few hundred at Parnell Park for this quarter-final double bill. Out for the sideline, which Simon Lambert's going to take. Now, where's this one going to end up, considering the game he's been having? Just around 30 from his own goal line. Try to get it through inside the opposing 65 and pick out David Curtin, but didn't have much luck on that occasion. Having an absolutely superb game in the middle is Rory Traynor, and so too was Mark Sweeney, who won that one, and that's going to be another free. So we know what's going to happen from here. We know the taker anyway. 5 points so far for John Heatherton. And again, central enough. But definitely having a day of it. 5 out of 5 so far. Free taking's been top class so far. No reason to change that. John Heatherton has got another superb long-range free, and it is a 2-point game again. Boden just can't get any way clear of Vincents here. That's a brilliant claim from Gary Maguire's puck out. Paul Ryan claiming. They're trying to stream forward again. Or Ballyboden. That's called as overcarrying by Niall Ryan. That's one of the few disappointments they've had up front so far. There's been some good sharp shooting. There's only really been one good goal scoring attempt, and that ended up in the net within the opening minute. Free long, Madden. Tom Connolly got the length on it. And there'll be another free which James Madden won, and James Madden was looking to take, but will step away. This is Simon Lambert territory, but then pretty much everywhere is. He's got great range on that, drops around the 20. It was very important for Vincents that Tom Connolly came in, won it well, chance to burst away. Good pass towards Mark O'Farrell. Pocock now. Vincents coming away with it, and they worked that one superbly. They've eased the pressure on their own defence, and there could be a breakthrough here. Alan Moore is on the way to goal. Fantastic save. What a stop by Gary Maguire that was. Alan Moore right in, and a great stop. There was a broken stick somewhere in there too. Has the best chance of a goal for St Vincent's in the game. Here come Ballyboden at the other end. Ada Mellets just lost out. But how well last time Vincents had worked that out of their own defence, and Alan Moore bursting through in a great stop. They can't dwell on that up front. Chris McCarry lost out though. Quick back towards Conal Keeney. A lot of room in the middle for Shane Durkin to strike long. Another dangerous one, and here's a great chance for McDwyer. And he snatched at it, it's gone wide, and it's only a third wide for Ballyboden in this entire quarter-final so far. Late in the first half, just about 2 minutes of normal time left. Brought away by Tom Connolly again for Vincents. Great soloing by Connolly. It's excellent competitive quarter-final so far, and I think we all knew it would be, considering last year. It's brought out by Ryan McBride. Sideline ball for Ballyboden. Simon Lambert will be the taker. Got under it well. Ballyboden in search of title number 5 of the decade. And how about that for a quick strike? Right over by Paul Ryan. And that's his first point from play, as well as the early goal from play. Wasn't a lot of room for him, but that was a magnificent point by Paul Ryan. An utterly glorious score. And it opens up the lead to a goal again. And here's Simon Lambert, who's having an equally superb game in the half-back line. Came up towards Keeney, was half-blocked. Paul Ryan again. And Paul Ryan does what he does best. That's 1-5 in a glorious first half from him. And after all those pointed frees, he's got 2 in a row magnificently from open play. 1 from the left, that from the right. They haven't had a lead bigger than this all game. Second time Ballyboden have led by 4 points. That was right at the start of the first half. They're doing it again right at the start of the end of the second and end of the first. 1-9 to 8 points, the Ballyboden St Endas lead. And that happened so quickly. 2 glorious points from Paul Ryan. They've won the last 2 50-50 balls in key places inside the Vincents 65. They won't win that one though. Gave the free out. As we go into first half stoppage time. Four points the lead. Short free this time, and St Vincent's caught themselves out. Easy claim for Conal Keeney. They've launched it long up towards the 20 again. It was a very important claim by Mark O'Keefe, and no stoppage time to speak of, just the 1 minute. Ballyboden St Endas lead St Vincent's at half time in the second of the Dublin Senior A Hurling Championship quarter-finals. It has been a belting contest. Half-time, Ballyboden St Endas 1-9, St Vincent's 8 points, and it has been really terrific stuff. That goal. So the second half about to get underway at Parnell Park in this second of the Dublin hurling quarter-finals. Ballyboden St Endas 1-9, St Vincent's 8 points at half-time. Crave Kieran beating Lucan Sarsfields in the first of them earlier today, the first of this double bill by 3-14 to 2-13. One interesting thing happened at half-time. The wind blew up a little bit, and by the looks of it, it's continuing on here. And that would be to the benefit of St Vincent's in the second half. It's blowing towards the church end, which they're attacking in this second half. Goal from Paul Ryan after 50 seconds, added 5 points to that one. 5 for him, 2 points for Simon Lambert. Fantastic game at centre half. James Madden with a point from play. St Vincent's 6 points from frees from John Heatherton. One each for Ryan McBride and Mark Sweeney. 1-9 to 8 points. It is the second time that Ballyboden have led by as many as 4 points, and this is the second half is about to get underway. St Vincent's playing from right to left and Ballyboden left to right as we see it in this second half, and a free already for Vincent's. There's only one man who's liable to take this after a magnificent first half, John Heatherton. Remember, our referee is Sean Stack. 2 very quick whistles, one to get the second half underway and the second to award this free. So Heatherton then, and we're only 30 seconds into the second period. This to cut it down to a point again. Fantastic in the first half, and that right down the middle. No problems at all for him. That is now 7 for Heatherton in the contest. They've been relying on him. They've all been from long range. And the next breaking ball could be a critical one, considering the tight margin these two have had all game. Trying to break forward again is Niall McMurrough for Ballyboden, but he's lost out. Now absolutely surrounded, and there was a bit of a bundle over there. Vincents will have the free. It was an open and shut case, and Sean Stack was very much on the ball, and he has been so far, really. Been up with play very well. Well, this is pretty much the longest free so far that John Heatherton's had. It's inside his own 65-metre line. He's got one from his own 65 so far. Brilliant tally of 7 points. This is the toughest one to date, though. And that is his first wide. That was the most difficult of them. It's 5 wides for St Vincent's, the Ballyboden's 3, and that's the first of the second half. considering what he's bit inaccurate this time. Vincents ball this time. It's well claimed by John Walsh, but then missed out with a ball that ended up. It's going to come out towards Conor Burke. Burke, first time strike, good effort from 45. That's a great effort. That's a fine point. And Conor Burke gets it, his first of the game. Down to 2 points once more. It was an excellent score from Burke, and in my eyes this evening, are we beginning to get a few spots of rain as well for the first time today? Well, it's been excellent all day. So has been the accuracy. Paul Ryan, chance to bring it on. He's got a free in, and this will be around the 20-metre line. 2 between them at the moment. How tempted would Ryan be to have a pop a goal from here? Is it still too early for it? Scott won 5 today. At this stage of the game, might just be a high-risk strategy. Ryan's free, and he's gone for it! Oh, and he absolutely lashed it. It's a brilliant stop. It was stopped by Ronan Fallon. I'm not sure what with. It might have got him plumb in the face. It was a belting effort by Paul Ryan. He did the unexpected. Fallon is still down on the goal line. Physio's coming in to have a look, and as a result, Sean Stack has held the game up. But what a strike that was by Paul Ryan. He went for it full belt. Treatment still being meted out there. Looks to be Ronan Fallon. It was a brave stop, definitely. I'm not sure he knew very much about his role in stopping it. Paul Ryan gave that a fair old hit. They obviously had the line well shielded, did St. Vincent's, just on the off chance that Ryan would go for that, and he did. It was a real belting effort. The rain is beginning to come down as well while this attention is being meted out. And Ronan Fallon is up and able to play on. Well, he's prevented Ryan from getting a second goal at least. He mightn't have appreciated his role in it, but Vinny's definitely will. And now the rain is really beginning to come down at Parnell Park for the first time today. It's unfortunate for Mark Sweeney, just bounced off his colleague Mark O'Farrell, chance to whip it away, but it was well stopped. And how about that for a clearance by Shane Durkin, first time on the double, struck it long, struck it hard. Rain is swirling around as well. It was blowing across the field in one direction, now it's going in the other. Away from a sideline ball it is for St. Vincent's, who trail by 2. 6 minutes into the second half. 2-16 to 18 points, the Ballyboden margin of victory last year, on the way to their first title in 5 years. Mark O'Keefe didn't get it very far, but at least a 1-2 between him and Ronan Fallon, maybe just to check that his faculties were still there, and they are. Well, that's hit back with interest by Simon Lambert. It's a great ball forward towards the edge of the Vincent's D. Rory Pocock with a chance to gather and bring it away, and now there's a good bit of space and a chance to stride upfield for Connolly. And the shot's in his favour too. That's a terrific point. 55 out, a great solo up all the way. It's a 1 point game. Excellently done. Brian Bulger it was. 1-9 to 11 points. Vincents have got the only 3 points on the board so far in this second half. And Brian Bulger there with one of the scores of the game. 3 points in a row, which they did as well right at the start of the first half after they conceded the early goal and point to Paul Ryan and Niall Ryan. Paul Doherty is in a bit of space and finding himself quite heavily marked suddenly by Mark O'Farrell. That's on the other end of the pitch. As the sideline cut about to be sent in by Mark Sweeney, didn't get it very far at all. That's what they were anticipating, and that's why Vincents wanted to watch Paul Doherty. But Mark O'Farrell was in the right place. He sent that one long. He sent that one to the left and wide. Maybe should have had a shot from there, perhaps, considering the strength that he got behind it. But the attempted pass to try and release Alan Moore again up front didn't pay off. That's 6 wides against St Vincent's, now 3 for Ballyboden. It's not really Squandermania. 2 wides in the second half for Vincent's point of view. It's a short puck out by Gary Maguire this time as well, and it'll be James Madden with that fine point in the first half to his name to get it up towards Paul Ryan. And look how deep he's popped up to win the free. Man who's got 1-5 so far to his name for Ballyboden, and tried to get his second goal. And Bowden's second goal with that belting free a few minutes ago from just outside the 20. It'll be his free, just around 50 out from his own goal. Ryan with a chance to drop it in. He's hit that with sufficient power, looking for the flick on in the square, but it was terrifically claimed. Free out for Vincents, but some power with that free. Mark O'Farrell grabbed it and won the free out. It has been launched well. On the chase after it is John Heatherton, who hasn't scored from play yet, but he's got 7 great points from frees. 7 out of 8. It's a great return so far. Quick, swift hand passing. And the final one penalised as Ryan McBride was on his way in. Vincent's really up for it for the second half. They've been well bolstered at half time. And they've cut the margin down to a single point with 10 minutes gone in this second half. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Nafina against St Bridget's, followed at 4:45 by Coola against Kilmacud Crokes. Another excellent quarter-final double bill here at Parnell Park. Conal Keeney it is. It's a decent dashing ball towards the near side. Niall Ryan has got a point already. Chance to break in. He's found a way past Sweeney. He's got support in the middle! And what a great opportunity for another second goal. Opportunity for Ballyboden. The strike by Doherty, and it's just wide. And that's looking like a 65, the first of the game for Ballyboden. Great scoring chance in the middle. And Paul Doherty right there. Play's been brought out. Paul Ryan has the free from an angle just outside the 20. And this to double Ballyboden's lead again. He surely won't go for the goal this time, and he couldn't really. They were prepared this time. And it's still 1-6 for Paul Ryan, who's having a belting game. First score of the second half for Ballyboden as well. (110 to 11 points is their lead. They're 2 points up. Vincents have been a bit more sharper up front in this second half. Opportunity for Conor Burke, for John Heatherton, should I say, blocked down very quickly, and it's away by Conal Keeney. It's another decent ball up. Trying to get Doherty away. It was well recovered and struck away by Conor Burke towards the Ballyboden 65. It's Ryan McBride, goes to ground, doesn't get the free, balls come loose. Cian McBride going in for it, didn't get it. Now Brian Bolger has a little bit of room, but only a little bit. Quick pass back towards Mark Sweeney. Didn't get behind that one properly. Was he caught on the way? Sean Stack says he was. That won't go down as a 7th wide because it's going to be a free in a great position this. Another opportunity to make it a 1-point game. It's right in front of goal, around 55 out. John Heatherton with 7 points so far, all from frees. Here he comes. You can mark that down early. 8 points for John Heatherton. 12 now for St. Vincent's, and they're only a point behind. That thrilling semi-final last year being matched by a quarter-final where the intensity is rising. A lot of set pieces, obviously. 8 points from frees scored by John Heatherton for St. Vincent's, and 4 put over by Paul Ryan as part of his 1-6 haul so far. And we haven't reached the halfway stage of the second half just yet. Here's Ronan Fallon. Launched long, but it was a bit aimless this time. Vincents and nobody in around the Ballyboden 45. But Mark Sweeney's managed to win it well. Quick hand pass, opportunities for John Walsh on the turn. Struck it well. Has he got it? He has! It's all square. St. Vincent's have got themselves level for the first time in the game. And still 16 minutes to go. Level for the very first time in the game. Struck away by Gary Maguire in the Ballyboden goal. It's a good long one up towards the Vincents 45. He's a little bit of pressure anyway in the Ballyboden St. Endas defence. It just came off Conal Kinney last. So it's a line ball for St. Vincent's, and how well they've got themselves back into this game. 6 points scored in this second half, and they've got 5 of them. Trailed at half-time by 4. Now they're level. 15 minutes gone in the second half and 15 to go. What a position they found themselves in, having trailed for the entire game. Tom Connolly's sideline ball was a dangerous one, but James Mann should be able to deal with it. Lambert blocked down for the first time in the game. Ryan McBride trying to come in, and he's managed to win it too for Vincents, trying to turn and angle one in towards the centre, and he's done so well. It's Alan Moore, strikes it long, and it's wide to the right and wide by Moore, and that would have been the lead for the first time in the game for St. Vincent's. Drama's rising now. Puck out by Gary Maguire has gone to Alan Moore. Wasn't able to hang on for it too long. David O'Connor, chance to drive it up the park. Long by Dooley. Well claimed. Bit of thievery being tried by Mellett. Had support there from Conal Kinney. He's up once more for Ballyboden. Conditions have definitely worsened. The wind is now blown up. It's definitely in Vincent's favour in the second half. It wasn't there at all in the first. It's a decent sideline cutter, same towards Niall Ryan. He didn't get there, but Paul Doherty definitely did. Chance to swing at it, couldn't get behind it properly. Dara Depar as well. There's another factor with the ball getting a little bit greasy with the rain that we've had for a bit of this second half, but it's gathered again by Niall Ryan. That's a fine strike, but trails to the left. First wide of the second half for Ballyboden. They've 4 in total, 7 for St. Vincent's, all square. 110 to 13 points. It's been well in the balance all game, but Ballyboden have always had their noses in front, but not anymore. Quick combination between Dardapur and Rory Traynor, and the goalkeeper getting it out long again. That is a glorious catch! What a claim! Here's a chance. Walsh is in there, and it's a free in for St. Vincent's. And it's a big opening for their first lead of the game. What a catch. I think it was by Heatherton. And it'll be his free. There may be a yellow card on the way. A second one for Ballyboden, and there is. For the holdback, looks to be against Corcoran. So John Heatherton, 8 points so far. This for the lead for St. Vincent's for the first time in the game. Wasn't going to go any other way. They've scored 6 of the last 7 points, and they lead for the very first time in this quarter-final. Eight points for John Heatherton, and St. Vincent's lead for the very first time in this contest. Kevin Desmond is on for Ballyboden, and he's on in the half-forward line. Right half forward. Long one, struck by Gary Maguire, trying to get Conor Dooley away on the far side. He's managed to do that. Bearing down on goal. Dooley still going, hold back. Went one-handed. What a goal! An absolute rasper. Fantastic goal by Conor Dooley. He went all the way. He was being dragged back all the way too. But what strength, what tenacity. What a goal. Ballyboden only trailed for seconds. A brilliant solo goal, the former Dublin goalkeeper. Magnificent Ballyboden goal scorer. The lead again belongs to Ballyboden. 10 minutes of normal time to go. Paul Ryan's been brought out to the 65 in this near side. There's a few changes being made. Ronan Fallon has gone off for St. Vincent's now. Long puck out, trying to get Niall McMurrow away again. It's with Conor Burke on the turn. Decent strike, good range, great accuracy. His second point of this quarter-final. And it's a 1 point game again. Sort of match you just cannot take your eyes off. There's been so much happening in it. Trying to be a match for last year's thrilling semi-final. It is quite a quarter-final battle between these two. Craig Kieran always had a decent advantage over Lucan Sarsfields. They only won by 4 points in the end, by 3-14 to 2-13 earlier today here in the first match of this double bill. But this game has ebbed and flowed. The lead hasn't changed hands very much, but it's been so tight between these two for a lot of it. And that second goal coming from Conor Dooley, an absolute beaut. Just the strength and when he was being hauled back, but he wasn't going to be stopped. And isn't going to be stopped here. He's back up and he's okay. So free for John Heatherton to take. 8 minutes of normal time to go, plus stoppages. Heatherton already with 9 points to his name, all from frees. Now there was one about this range earlier which he missed early in this second half. This is a little bit more central. This to put him into double figures for scored frees in this contest. That is just magnificent. We are level again, 2-10 for Ballyboden St. Endas, 16 points for St. Vincent's now. Heatherton does it once more, 8 minutes to go of normal time. Thriller minute stuff at Parnell Park. Been brought away again by James Madden. Madden doing a good job of it too. Trying to rob him was Tom Connolly. Just denied. Way by Cian McBride. Good long one. Trying to pick out Conor Burke. Didn't find Conor Burke, but found John Walsh instead. Just as importantly, it's come back towards David O'Connor. Well claimed in the heart of the Ballyboden St Enda's defence, and he struck this one long up towards the 45. Cut out by Mark O'Farrell. Line ball it is in favour of Ballyboden. Paul Doherty wanted to take straight away. Extra time if necessary. We can think about that now. Paul Ryan, 1-6 so far. 6.5 minutes to go. Nobody crowding in around the square just yet. It's a cracking sideline cut, going all the way, and he's made it. Superb from the sideline pass, and Ballyboden lead again, but from the puck out from the Pirates straight to Brian Bulger. This to tie it up immediately, and he has! What a game! All square again for the third time. Score for score right now. Just as Paul Ryan had netted that brilliant effort, scored from the sideline cut. The Power with a chance to bring it away again. It'll be Brian Bulger. Haven't had many wides in the contest at all. It's 8 for St Vincents now, 4 in each half, and 4 for Ballyboden in total across them all. Ballyboden 2-11, St Vincent's 17 points with 5 minutes to go. That won't have the range. It'll bounce just in front of Dara Byrne. A chance to bring it away and knock it back long once more, but there's nobody really anticipating it. Nobody up there. Simon Lambert, magnificent first half. Decent second half as well. He's got this one up towards Paul Ryan. Ryan with a good crisp strike. Drops over the bar. What a game he's having as well. 1-8 for Paul Ryan. 2-12 to 17 points. They're both close to their respective tallies from last year's semi-final. That ended up being a 4-point win for Ballyboden St Enda's. Only twice have they led as much as 4 points in this entire game. We've been level 3 times. Ballyboden got the opening score, a goal after 50 seconds. And for a lot of it, they haven't looked back. Free won by Niall McMorrow right in the centre with just under 4 minutes to go. An absolute storming game to remember. Paul Ryan definitely has had one to remember so far, and this can add to it. A free from his own 65-metre line. 1-8 so far. 4 from frees, another from a sideline cut. This so a long way out. But he's got behind it well, and it drops to the right and wide, and that's only a second wide for Ballyboden St Enda's in this second half. 5 in total for them. 8 for St Vincent's. Ballyboden lead by a point, 18 to 17. 2-12 to 17 points with 3 minutes to go of normal time. Ballyboden don't need to be in a massive rush to take this sideline ball. Further changes being made as well. Looks like Niall Ryan is the one who's going off right at the end. And on in his place is Finn McGarry, wearing 18. Good contest for Niall Ryan, scored a terrific point in the first half. This one's gathered by Tom Connolly. Chance to bring it away, and he's fouled the ball, and it's going to be a free in for Ballyboden here. It's still not quite in the range of looking for insurance scores. They only lead by a solitary point in the 59th minute of the 60. There's only one candidate to take this, Paul Ryan. 1-8 so far. Most recent effort was a miss, but that was about 20 metres further out than this one. It's right in front of the target. Ryan to double Ballyboden's lead. 58.5 minutes played. They've relied on him a lot today. They need something extra, and there it is. Paul Ryan's done it again. He's got 1-9 out of the 2-13. Ryan has made it happen again. (2-13) to 17 points. St. Vincents needs something big. They're getting something big here from Hellerton. He's got it out well. It's Ciarán McBride who scores. It's down to a point again in the last minute of the 60. His first point of the entire contest, and it could scarcely be more important. It's a great puck out. It was a tremendous claim as well, struck long. McMorrow trying to dig it out. It's up towards Kevin Desmond, only on the pitch for the last 10 minutes or so. Paul Ryan gets a little flick. Top scorer for Ballyboden with 1-9 so far today. Vincent's trying to tie this up. Heading towards stoppage time, which is only seconds away. Struck long, Ciarán McBride, who's just scored in the past few moments. Chance to pick it up again here. McBride on the way, but held up well by James Madden. Needs support. He'll strike it out long. Here's Brian Bulger. Good claim. Only needs a couple of steps inside. High strike by Bulger, and he's tied it up. It's all square in stoppage time in this quarter-final. A brilliant point. His third of the game. Ballyboden St. Endas 2-13, St. Vincent's 19 points. We're in the range of next score wins if we do have a next score. Tom Connolly couldn't take too much time with that. And it's a free in! It's a free in! Ballyboden have a chance to win it maybe, depending how much additional time we have. Well, it's been a game and a half for Paul Ryan. He's barely missed all game. For only a minute did St. Vincent's lead. It's the fourth time the sides have been level in the entire contest. Paul Ryan then. What a moment. What a game he's had. Will he be on the winning side? Will he be the man to determine it? In the 62nd minute, Ryan, who's been faultless all day, has got another one on the board, and Ballyboden lead. It's a magnificent 1 goal and 10 points. The goal in the first minute. His 10th point in stoppage time. And it looks like Owen O'Neill has come on for Ballyboden St. Endas in stoppage time. Another change for them. Next breaking ball is vital. We could be going all the way to extra time. Conor Burke trying to break through for St. Vincent's here. Needs a little bit of support. Good quick hand pass. They might not be thinking about an equalising point, but something bigger and better. And it's a free in. John Walsh has gone down on the 20. It's a free in right in front of goal. Now here's a quandary. Do they try and tie it up, go for the easy point, or maybe try and win it with a low one? Big decisions coming here. John Heatherton's had a big game. 10 points, all from frees. He's placing it just outside the 20. This to tie it up. He went for the point, he got the point. He's got 11 in the contest. 2-14 for Ballyboden, 20 points for St. Vincent's. Where this puck out goes could be vital. Gary Maguire getting it long. Good breaking ball, and it's a Vincent's one this time, but not for long. Rory Pocock tried to scoop it out and lost it. Trying to race back across and pick up was Lou Corcoran. And whistle's gone and maybe thrown in here actually by Sean Stack. He's followed it well and had a decent game refereeing wise. Bit of attention needed too. What a dramatic one this has been. We're in the 5th minute of stoppage time. Ballyboden sending us 2-14. St. Vincent's 20 points. 11 from John Heatherton. 3 from Brian Bolger, 2 for Conor Burke. 1 each Mark Sweeney, Ryan McBride, Cian McBride, John Walsh, Conor Burke at 2. Ball thrown in. It's well gathered by Dean Kern, who's just come on for Ballyboden St. Endas. Are we going to have a winner? Right at the end. It may yet happen. It's a beautiful strike, but it goes to the right and wide, and that's it. Extra time. That was a 6th wide for Ballyboden. It has been an absolute thumper. Ballyboden St. Endas 2-14. St. Vincent's 20 points. And it surely has matched last year's semi-final for the intensity. We'll be back shortly. Ballyboden, St. Endas 2-14, St. Vincent's 20 points. Absolutely terrific contest so far, and it's not done yet. Extra time on the way. In the second of the Dublin Senior Hurling quarter-finals, Ballyboden St. Endas 2-14, St. Vincent's 20 points. Paul Ryan with 110 for Ballyboden. Second goal coming from Conor Dooley. Deep into that second half, it had turned things around for Ballyboden's favour again. They'd fallen behind for the first time in the match. John Heatherton with another terrific free. He's got 11 so far for St. Vincent's. 3 points for Brian Bolger, 2 for Conor Burke, 1 each for Mark Sweeney, Ryan McBride, Cian McBride and John Walsh. Simon Lambert's had a terrific game as well. 2 points for Ballyboden St. Endas, 1 each for James Madden and Niall Ryan. But defensively, Lambert's had a terrific game. Conal Keeney came into a lot more in that second half as well. It did get quite gloomy during that second half. The teams have had at least 10 minutes in the dressing room since the end of normal time. We still have one young budding hurler of the future on the pitch, so we're going to hang on for him to leave before extra time can get underway. Luke Corcoran is Back on, and Marco Farrell has come on for St. Vincent's for extra time. So here we go again. Extra time in this quarter-final between Ballyboden, St. Endas and St. Vincent's. 2:14 for Ballyboden, St. Endas, 20 points for St. Vincent's. As we resume again with Vincent's playing from left to right as we see it in the first period of extra time. And can they get off to a stormer? It's struck long by Mark Sweeney. Oh, they have! What a goal! It looks to be Stephen McCarry with his first touch. And it's a fantastic goal from Stephen McCarry. Flicked it into the net. What a strike! Brilliant ball in. Game, and it's a beauty. Long in by Mark Sweeney and straight into the net. As Ballyboden try and respond in kind, but what a goal by McCarry. What a way for extra time to begin within, 30 seconds. Great goal. And it's the most that Vincents have led by in this entire game. Brilliant ball in by Mark Sweeney, there's no doubt about that, but what a strike, what a goal. Game on again. A thumping quarter-final this is. Tomorrow, Nafina against St. Bridget's at 3. Akula against Kilmacud-Crokes from 4:45. So free in for St. Vincent's, who haven't led by this much in the entire game. They could open up a 4-point lead as well here, which is what Ballyboden did twice during the game. It's Heatherton. It's glorious! He's done it again! 12 points, all from frees. John Heatherton is having a tremendous game. .214 to 121. 24 points to 20 in favour of St. Vincent's. And that is the joint biggest lead that anyone has held in this entire quarter-final so far. Rain is really beginning to come down again here, and it's a majorly gloomy evening now. So well hit free for Vincents. Long up towards the 20-metre line on the near flank. Chance for it to be dug out again by Dean Kern. But he hand passed it straight into touch, so it's a sideline ball for St. Vincent's. It's going to be Heatherton again. Now this will be ambitious, but we've already seen a sideline sent over by Paul Ryan as part of his 110 tally. It's a good crisp cut, but it goes to the right and wide. That's 9 wides against St. Vincent's overall so far. Their lead remains 4 points. That would have been, had he been successful, the largest margin of the entire game so far. It's been that tight between these two so far. It's the most significant lead that St. Vincent's have had. Big fighting by Niall McMorrow, and he's won the free. For Ballyboden. Almost 4 minutes into extra time. Well, the crowd who stayed for this. There's a nice crowd on this near side as well, and you'll see the hundreds that are over on the main stand here at Parnell Park. They're doing their best to keep dry. So are we. And the towels are being needed for the first time today. So, Paul Ryan hugging the far touchline outside the 45. Good firm strike, and right between the posts again. 111 for him now, and we're down to a margin of a goal again. .215 to 121. 21 points to 24. It's another cracking effort. It's coming in well from Conor Burke, and he scored. Oh, that's a fine point by Conor Burke in extra time. 5 minutes into the first period. No time being wasted with a puck out either by Gary Maguire, but it's been well claimed here by Owen O'Neill, who's on for extra time for St. Vincent's. He's hit this one long, but there's nobody in the danger zone at all. It'll be well claimed here by Gary Maguire and a chance to get it away again. Hasn't come in, so it'll be thrown in instead by Sean Stack. And away we go again. It was really well gathered right in the middle there by Ryan McBride. So he's got the free, and it's on his own 65-metre line. Looks like he's going to take it himself as well. It did look until a certain St. Vincent's number 14 came on the scene. Strode a long way for this one. He's had a couple of misses now, but you really can't fault what he's achieved. 12 points, 12 successful frees out of 14 so far. That includes the sideline cut that was missed a few moments ago. Magnificent game. Another one long way out. What power, what strength, what accuracy. And what a lead this is now. The biggest lead of the entire match. A 5-point lead as John Heatherton gets his 13th point from set pieces. A great free from Heatherton again. 26 plays 21. 123 to 215 is the lead for St. Vincent's now. Trying to dethrone the champions, but a long way to go in extra time yet. Long puck out by Gary Maguire was a good one. Dug out well again and sent long by Paul Ryan, but very well held up. Connolly with a little flick. Little bit of support back there from Conor Dooley. Had the strike, looking for the flick, and it dropped dangerously, and Dara DeBar did well, the St. Vincent's goalkeeper. Really extravagantly gathered and cleared away. Here's Marco Farrell, chance to send low and long, and it's a cracking ball. And on the charge, here goes Heatherton again. Magnificent from dead balls all game. He hasn't actually scored from open play just yet, and didn't there. Balls getting greasier in the soggy conditions. Here goes Doherty. They've all kept their feet so well so far, despite the worsening weather in Donecarney. Open ball. Here's Niall McMorrow. He went to ground, but back up quickly, and he's fouled the ball. It's a free against him, called by Sean Stack, and it's a free to St. Vincent's, who lead by 5. 90 seconds of normal time to go to half time and extra time. They've scored 1-3 in extra time. Ballyboden have got a solitary point. Well, it looks like everywhere is John Heatherton territory today. This is out towards his own 45, but he's going to go for it all the same. It has been a belting contest. He has had a game and a half. 13 points, all from frees. 13 out of 50. The two he missed were the most difficult, but surely this tops the lot. It's a great distance. He's gone for it again. It's a dangerous dropping ball in this time. Just too short. Even D didn't have the range, but he might still get something out of it. And the shot by Cian McBride has just gone wide. 10 wide for Vincents in the game. They lead by 5. 123 to 215. 26 to 21. Vincents, who definitely have shown their mettle. The 10-28 they scored against Naomh Finborough, but the same for Ballyboden St. Enda's most recently against Setanta, scoring 6-29. only conceding 5 points. 2 victories in the group stage. Their other 2 victories by a solitary point over Whitehall Colmkill, 218 to 217. It's Lucan Sarsfields, 115 to 114. And they really need to dig this one out now. Into stoppage time at the end of the first period of extra time. 123 to 215 the lead for St. Vincent's. The rain getting heavier. And suddenly they're becoming a little bit more fallible. But what a game. And we're not done yet. Sideline ball for St. Vincent's. Surely only a few seconds left in this passage of play. Heatherton not going for it this time. Even that's too much beyond them. But a might break invitingly here. Trainer's had a brilliant game. It's Conor Burke having a little pot shot from a good bit out. It's claimed by Gary Maguire, and it is half-time in extra time. And what a brilliant 10 minutes that was. An incredible 10 minutes for St. Vincent's. They lead at half-time in extra time on a scoreline of St. Vincent's 123. Ballyboden St. Endas 215. The goal from McGarry, his first touch of the game, right at the start of extra time. Beyond Gary Maguire, a terrific finish. We will be back in a few moments for the second period of extra time to come to a conclusion today between Ballyboden St. Endas and St. Vincent's. Vincent's lead by 5 points. So the final words have been said. St. Vincent's leading this Dublin Senior A Hurling Championship quarter-final. It's been a real thriller so far. High accuracy, high quality, and the champions are in big trouble. Ballyboden St. Endas trail by 5 at half-time and extra time. St. Vincent's 123, Ballyboden St. Endas 215. 26 to 21 in favour of St. Vincent's. Can they dethrone the kingpins of Dublin hurling from 2018? Ballyboden St. Endas have 10 minutes to save themselves, to get themselves into the semi-finals, where Crave Kieran are already waiting. 2 more quarterfinals tomorrow. Struck long for Tom Connolly. It's well gathered here for Mark Sweeney. Sweeney with a chance to bring it away for St. Vincents, who've really enjoyed this one. And it's a long one, and here goes Cian McBride. Can he steal in inside James Madden? Madden has fouled him. A free for St. Vincents as they look to wrap up the game. Notebook is out for Sean Stack. That may well be a yellow, and it is for James Madden.